What's up? So, this is actually going to be my first video. I came up with the idea of this video because I am in those Facebook market groups for trading and selling colognes. I've had a lot of the clones. So some people do ask my opinion. I was gonna make a list for this one person, but I decided to make a video instead. So here's the video. So today I'm gonna be talking about the best clones, the ones that are your must-haves, or if you don't have too many, this is where you should start. I'm not gonna put any of these in order just because I do have a lot of them, but I'm gonna try to go by house. So I do have a few Creed clones here, some Louis Vuitton clones, Tom Ford. Best way to go about it is either buy a house, just buy sets. So let's say you have $100. That's enough to buy, let's say, the 3 Creed colognes I have here, or 3 Creed clones that I have here. That's how I did it. I kind of just made a list. Off the list, I kind of just went through each house and bought way too many clones. Then I should have. So I ended up getting a pretty much clean house. These are the ones I've kept. I don't plan on selling these just because I don't plan on getting the original on these just because I do like the clones so much. But yeah. So I'm actually going to start with Tobac by Maison Alhambra. It is a clone of Dior's Tobacular. Really good. I don't see myself spending Tobacular money, so this is good enough. I've never smelled the original, but if it smells anything close to this, then I'm keeping this one for sure. So the next one is, well, let me go ahead and stay in the Dior. So the next one of Dior I do have is Sauvage Elixir's clone Enigma Un. So this one I've actually smelled side by side of Sauvage Elixir, and it comes so close that I could care less about spending the money to get Sauvage Elixir. Even though I'm cleaning out my clones, this is one I'm definitely gonna keep. So next one, let's see. So next one I'll go ahead with Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is one of those that I smelled Ombre Nomad on somebody at the airport maybe a year ago, and that's kind of what set me off into this clone rampage. This is where I found out clones are really good. So I'll go ahead and show you my first clone that I picked up. Wasn't expecting too much. Wasn't expecting it. Well, it wasn't expecting how close it was going to get. Just because when I smelled this fragrance at the airport, I fell in love. So that's actually going to be the clone of Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomad Jean Low Ombre. So I got this one in the mail, and it's exactly what I remember smelling, at least in the air. Don't think I'm gonna ever spend that Louis Vuitton money on cologne. Well, maybe not now, maybe later on, but this gets me exactly where I want to be. I've heard a lot of people, or a lot of the fragrance channels, they don't really care about Louis Vuitton clones just because they believe they're way overpriced and they're actually manufactured cheaper. So if that's the case, that makes sense why this got so close. Realistically, it's like a 1-to-1. So I think at the time I spent like $25 on this, rather than spending like, I believe it goes for like $400. So that's the first Louis Vuitton. Next one's gonna be Louis Vuitton Afternoon Swim clone, which is called Luciano. What's it called? Sunset Swim. Let's see if I can focus. So this fragrance, I actually was not too interested in Louis Vuitton's Afternoon Swim, even though I never smelled it. Just found this one for cheap, so I was already almost done with the Louis Vuitton line, and this is the last one I needed. So I was like, I decided to pick it up. This is an extrait de parfum, but it is a freshie, so it doesn't really last. Well, I don't really catch a hint too much of it, but I do wear it to work a lot just because working in an office, you want to wear something that's easy to wear. I did make the mistake of wearing the Ombre to the office with only 2 sprays, and I was not called out, but people noticed. That's something I don't want to be noticed, especially if I'm just sitting down in my cubicle. I don't want people passing by and just 5 feet away can smell me. But if that's up to you, you know, you could do that too. But anyways, Sunset Swim, definitely worth the money. This sent me on a complete different rampage. So this sent me on a rampage of buying Dior Homme Cologne, and just citrusy style fragrances, which this is going to sound pretty dumb, but at the same time, this was years ago. I hated Nautica Voyage. So I never wanted to, I thought I just didn't like blue fragrances because people love Nautica Voyage. I absolutely hated it. Every time I smelled it, this was my brother's go-to cologne. I had to leave the room. I just had to leave the room. So this was actually my first blue freshie out of my collection. Definitely changed my perspective. Just sent me on a completely different rampage. I'll definitely say get this one. Next and last one for the Louis Vuitton house is going to be a clone of Jean Lo Immortal, but I do have a little bit of a hot take on this one. So this one is Jean Lo Immortal. It's a L'Immensité clone. The thing is, I do see the bottle of this one, or the price of this one, going for way more expensive than than it should be. I picked this one up for maybe $20 before the hype. This was maybe a few months ago. Then I also picked up Vice Ciel. So Vice Ciel is actually the same fragrance as this one. I don't smell a difference. The note breakdowns are different. Or not too different, just one has more than the other. I believe Immortal has more than Vice Ciel, but it smells the same. It smells identical, so if you can't get your hands on this one, just get your hands on Vice Ciel. Vice Ciel is a little bit more expensive. Well, $40 from what this one's supposed to be. This one I got for about $20. So I would say definitely, if you can't find that one, get the other one. Don't spend the $100 or $200 that they're asking for the Immortal. Alright, so for the next house, by the way, I am not going to edit this video. This is going to be full, uncut, raw. Don't feel like editing. So we're just going to keep on going. So, first one I'm going to start off with for the Creed house is going to be a clone or a twist of Royal Oud. So this is going to be Your Highness Green 3. You have to make sure it does say the 3 on it. Really good clone. Or twist, I'm not too sure. Kind of fougere-ish. But when I wear it to work, it's one of those I wear to work. People do love it. So I'd say definitely get your hands on this one. What just happens to be the Creed clones are the ones I normally wear to work, or just having the rotation to go to work. Next one is going to be a clone of Creed Millésime Imperial, which is going to be Club de Nuit Milestone. So when I first got this one, I wasn't too impressed. So this one did grow on me a little bit. It's something I haven't smelled before, but kind of reminded me, and just kind of reminds me now, of CK1, which it's an old school fragrance, old school popular fragrance. That is actually what it reminds me of a little bit, but I would say I prefer this one over the CK one. So, but I would definitely say get this one if you're just starting off. It'd be a good add to the collection. Doesn't smell like anything else. What I found was that a lot of them smelled pretty similar when I was going through my clone hiatus. But the last one from the Creed house is going to be a clone of Creed Aventus. I've gone through a bunch of clones of Creed Aventus. This is the one that smells the most like Aventus to me, at least the batch I had. I had 2 bottles that I've gone through already. Didn't feel like picking up a third one. So I was looking for the perfect clone. After buying and selling the clones that didn't fit, I finally got my hands on this one. And this one is pretty much Aventus in a bottle. So this is going to be Offenbach Supremacy Silver. So I wasn't expecting too much when I first got this fragrance. When I first bought it, I don't even remember if I got it in a trade or not. So I did have all Haramain, the Intense one. I did have a few different ones. I don't remember exactly which ones I had, but this is definitely the one that gets the closest. It lasts long, even though people say it doesn't. I actually wear it to work if I put it on clothes. Just like what I remember of Aventus, it did have, it stayed on clothes for days. So definitely pick this one up. This is probably like a must-have for your fragrance collection, especially because my first niche fragrance was Aventus. So next ones I'm get into. I'll try to go a little bit quicker just because I see that this is already 12 minutes. This is going to be in the Tom Ford. So Tobacco Vene clone is going to be Tobacco Touch. I would just say go ahead and pick this one up. It's good for this type of season. December, cold weather. This is probably one of the best ones. Honestly, one of the best ones. I've never smelled actually, I think I did. I think I did smell Tobacco Vene. I don't remember what it smells like. I just picked up this clone because I was already going through the Tom Ford clone line, so I just wanted to pick up which one that I possibly could. This is definitely one of the best ones, so definitely spend your money on this, and spend your money on Oud Wood's clone Woody Oud. I have not smelled any other of the clones of Oud Wood. This is the only one I've had, and I would definitely say just spend your money on this one. It's really close. I've smelled Oud Wood before, and it smells unique compared to everything else you have in this line. Alright, so next one is going to be a Bleu de Chanel clone. I haven't smelled Bleu de Chanel before, and actually Bleu de Chanel didn't really intrigue me. Don't care about picking up a full bottle of the actual one, so the clone is just fine for me. I actually got the clone first, and then I smelled it at a Macy's. I smelled Bleu de Chanel's at a Macy's. It reminded me exactly of this, so why spend all the money when you could have the clone for way cheaper? So this is Club de Nuit Iconic. I'm not sure exactly which, I believe it's the Parfum, or maybe EDP, but I have no idea which of the Chanel's it is. It just reminds me of Chanel, so it's easy to wear for the office. Next one that was not a love at first. I thought it was too generic. Then it grew on me as I wore it a little bit more. I've had maybe a few wears with it. My girlfriend loves this one. It is a Roja Elysium clone, which is Imperium. So at first, I just thought about, I don't remember which cologne this reminded me of. Didn't impress me, but the dry down is very good on this cologne. So definitely pick this one up. I would even say pick it up over the Bleu de Chanel clone. So this next one is a Xerjoff Herba Pura clone. It's one I actually didn't know it was a clone because I wasn't into the market at the time, into the fragrances or anything like that. I just smelled it at one of those perfume shops at the mall. So this is actually Haramain's Gold Edition. Ever since I smelled this one, I loved it. I don't remember where I smelled it at, but this one's nice. I would just spend your money on it. I don't even have to explain it. Just spend your money on it. So next one is going to be a Naxos clone, Xerjoff Naxos clone. I do have I think it's a 5 ml sample of Naxos. It smells very similar. I'm not going to be picking up a full bottle of Naxos just because I do have this clone. It's going to be Vox Elegant. So every time I don't reach for it, but when I wear it, I'm happy that I wore it. It's one of those sleepers in your collection. But I would say it's definitely a must-have. All right, so I'm down to 5. I'll go ahead and get this one over with just because this is probably one many people already have. So this is going to be an Angel Share clone. I've tried a lot of the ones that are out there. This is definitely my favorite one. A lot of mixed reviews about it. It doesn't last. It lasts. I don't even know where people could get that. It doesn't last, but that's actually my scent of the day for today. Just because we had a snowy day, decided to just bring it out just because, honestly. It's close to Christmas time. You can see the dent I put on it so far. So this is going to be Fire Your Desire. It's a pretty cheap pickup. It's been out for a while. This is definitely the best Angel Share clone. Haven't smelled the original, but out of all the ones I've smelled, this is the one I like the most. Alright, so the next one is going to be one that I was surprised I liked. It's going to be a Invictus Victory clone. It is Victorioso Victory. And this is a super long-lasting fragrance. If you're into the Invictus line, it's funny because I actually prefer the clone over the actual Invictus Victory. So just pick this one up. Don't wait. I mean, Invictus isn't too expensive, but when you can just pick up this one and pick up some other clones, I would say just pick up Victory. All right, so my Tuxedo clone, which I've smelled a few of them. They all smell the same, in my opinion. So I would just say pick the one you find. So if it's that you're gonna trade for one, or it's just the cheapest one you find. I've smelled Tux by Maison Alhambra. I've smelled the one from Milestone. I don't even remember the name of it. But I have Kiss Met for Men. So when I first got it, I was worried about the performance, but really good performance, lasts all day. Smells really good. Reminds me of all the other ones I've smelled. So I would just say pick it up. It's probably the cheapest one out there too. Save your money. Don't fall into the YouTube hype. Now for my last two, they're going to be clones of, what's it called? Parfums de Marly. So my camera looks like it's about to die, so let me go ahead and hurry up. So this is actually going to be the clone for I forgot, Galatea. So there's actually a clone for, I forgot which one it is, but this is Maison Alhambra's Galatea. I actually sold my Ombre and Leather Maison Alhambra just because I actually preferred how this one smells, and it's very redundant to have both. Prefer this one, so definitely get this one. Don't get Ombre and Leather. It's more earthy, unless you're more into earthy. Then just go ahead and get the other one. Last one is going to be a Herod clone. It's going to be Hercules by Maison Alhambra. It's a beautiful scent. Go ahead and spend your money on it. My camera's about to die. So that's it. I don't know how many I covered. 20-minute video for the first video. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully you stayed around for this long in the video. But yeah, first video. It's a wrap. Thank you guys. That's it.